You don't prioritize wants because you're weak. You do it because your brain thinks wants are needs, and modern money makes that mistake profitable. If you've ever felt money slip out of your hands, that wasn't a slip, it was a system working exactly as designed. Picture last month. You promised yourself rent first, groceries, then ill chill. 2 weeks later, your cart somehow includes the limited edition sneakers, a second streaming bundle you barely watch, and 3 small food deliveries that weren't small at all. Rent still gets paid, but your savings goal? Ghosted. And the worst part isn't the spend. It's the confusion. Why am I doing this when I know better? Here's the uncomfortable truth. You're not the problem. You're following invisible instructions your brain wrote 50,000 years ago, and big tech reads better than you do today. Because this isn't just math. It's the psychology of spending. And understanding it is the difference between slowly leaking hundreds every month and quietly stacking power. Wait, it gets stranger. The reason you prioritize wants over needs isn't random. It's systematic, predictable, and it shows up the second your phone lights your face at 11 p.m. Let's make this real. Your rent jumped 10% this year. Eggs cost more. Your student loan restarted. So why does a $200 jacket still slide through without a fight? Because something in your brain screams, now, while your spreadsheet whispers later. That tug of war decides whether you invest or impulse, whether you build a cushion or depend on vibes. And right now, the wants team has home field advantage. Look at your statement. Those little only $14.99 ticks, they stack like bricks. That buy now, pay later plan for the headphones? It didn't feel like debt, but it is. Here's the knowledge gap. Your plan assumes you're a robot, but your money is filtered through attention, stress, status, and certainty. 4 forces that silently move the goalposts. And when those 4 line up, that's when the real problem starts. So what's actually happening under the hood? Start with present bias. Your brain values immediate rewards way more than future ones. A coffee today feels vivid. Retirement in 30 years feels like a rumor. When the app says order in 8 minutes for free delivery, your brain translates it as free dopamine now. Then dopamine fires. Not because the purchase arrives, but because you expect it. Tap to buy equals tiny hit. Repeat it daily, and you've trained a spending reflex. But here's the twist. The pain of paying used to slow you down. Handing over cash stings. Cards numbed it. One-tap checkout anesthetized it. Subscriptions eliminated it. When you pay once and consume all month, your brain never sees the cost, so it never says stop. Now add scarcity and status. Only 3 left. Ends at midnight. People like you also bought. That tricks your ancient survival wiring. Scarcity meant starvation, and status meant safety. Miss an opportunity back then, you risked your place in the tribe. Miss a sale now, you risk nothing. But your body doesn't know the difference. This is why those sneakers feel urgent and your emergency fund does not. And it's why social feeds push you into comparison mode. Your brain keeps score by rank when money hides. You aren't buying the thing. You're buying a feeling. Belonging, control, permission to exhale. Here's what nobody tells you. Mental accounting makes it worse. You tell yourself, it's just entertainment money. Then you order a $60 dinner out of your grocery budget and pretend it lives in a different universe. Or you get a tax refund and label it found money, then treat it like casino chips. Brands know this. They carve purchases into digestible slices, 4 payments of 48 instead of 192, so your brain files each slice under harmless. When X is sliced, Y looks smaller, and you experience Z. You buy more than you planned. Still with me? Good, because the mechanism runs deeper. Stress hijacks your spending. When your day drains your willpower, your brain moves from planning to soothing. That's why the late-night scroll ends with a checkout screen. Decision fatigue lowers your guard. and the money system waits. Free trial shows up exactly when you're tired, because the friction is zero and the reward feels instant. Wait, it gets stranger. The more abstract the money, the less you feel it. Apple Pay? Smooth. Credit card points? Feels like play money. Crypto? Feels like a video game. When money feels light, you lift it recklessly. Let's step into an everyday scene. You, a Tuesday, noon. Your bank text says deposit posted, and the app flashes confetti. That graphic isn't cute. It's conditioning. 2 hours later, a push notification says flash sale only today. Present bias says do it. Scarcity says hurry. The one-tap button removes the pain of paying. You hit buy. Now your brain backfills justification. I needed it for the gym. That's post-purchase rationalization, and it's sneaky. It protects your identity, I'm a smart person, even when the choice was emotional. And once you label it need, your plan collapses. Action, explanation, story, repeat. But there's a catch. Wants aren't evil. They're signals. Sometimes you prioritize wants because your needs are emotional. Connection, certainty, novelty. The jacket isn't fabric, it's a vote for a braver you. The brunch isn't eggs, it's not eating alone. If you don't make room for those needs honestly, you're budget rebels. You binge spend on weekends because your weekday plan is all rules and no relief. That pendulum swing costs more than a planned treat. So the goal isn't to kill wants. It's to choose them on purpose, not on impulse. Remember the rent jump? Here's the twist that stings. When fixed costs rise, your brain still defends the rewards that got you through last year. You cut the boring stuff, insurance, maintenance, savings, because they don't scream. You don't feel the cost until your tire blows or your landlord raises rent again. And by then your credit card rate turned that temporary fix into a monthly tax. On a $2,000 balance at 20% interest, that's $400 a year just to owe. Invisible, relentless, demotivating. So how do we flip the script? We change the environment, not your personality, because systems beat willpower every time. Start with 3 buckets: needs, wants, future. Automate needs and future on payday before you see the money. That's not discipline, it's architecture. When the transfer happens first, present bias works for you. What you see in checking is what feels spendable. Label the buckets in your app with verbs: food I eat, joy I choose, future me's freedom. Language changes behavior. If you see future me's freedom get funded every month, you get a hit of pride. And pride competes with dopamine. Now add friction where you overspend. Remove saved cards from your favorite stores. Turn off one click. Require Face ID and a passcode. Yes, this is annoying. That's the point. Make online orders live behind a 2-minute cart cooldown. Walk, drink water, ask, am I buying the thing or the feeling? Then give yourself a cheaper version of the feeling. Want novelty? Rent it. Borrow books, swap clothes, try a free class. Want status? Earn it. Master a skill, post your progress. Your brain wants a dopamine hit. Give it one that compounds. A rule you can steal: the 48-hour want window. If it costs more than 1 hour of your after-tax income, wait 2 days. If it costs more than a day of your income, wait 1 week. During the wait, price it in hours of life, not dollars. This jacket is 12 hours of my time. Suddenly, that deal looks different. And this isn't deprivation. It's clarity. Most impulses evaporate when you add time. The real wants, those aligned with your values, survive. But there's a twist brands hope you ignore. Your budget breaks not on big splurges, but on small, repeatable leaks. The daily $7 latte, the second platform at $12.99, the delivery fees that quietly equal a gym membership every month. Here's the fix: swap repeating pains for repeating gains. Bundle your lattes into a prepaid coffee card with a weekly limit. Same treat, Capped cost. Consolidate subscriptions on one day, first of the month, and name it Joy Day. If you don't get joy when you see all of them at once, cancel 3 immediately. That single act can free 30 to 60 a month. That's 700 to more than 1,000 a year you can move to future me's freedom. Let's talk buy now, pay later. It's marketed as budgeting. It's usually the opposite. The product is debt disguised as dessert. If you use it, treat it like a credit line. Track the total, not the slice. Make a rule. Only one active plan at a time, and it must be auto-paid from your wants bucket. Break the rule once, 30-day freeze. This injects consequence, reinterference, which reactivates the pain of paying you need to make better choices. And what about social? Pressure? Build a script. When friends suggest an expensive outing, say, "I'm stacking for a goal. Can we do X instead?" Most people respect clarity. Offer a plan B, picnic, potluck, game night. You still buy the feeling, belonging, at a fraction of the price, and you train your identity. I'm the friend with a plan. Identity beats willpower. Remember those confetti animations your bank sent? Flip that too. Create visible progress. Set your savings goal in the app and enable the progress bar on your home screen. Each time it moves, your brain gets dopamine from building, not buying. Pair it with a ritual. When the bar hits a milestone, you buy a planned want guilt-free. This isn't a loophole, it's fuel. One more move most people miss. Pre-commit your future self. Text a friend right now. If I buy anything over 100 this month without the 48-hour rule, I owe you 50. That's loss aversion working for you. We hate losing more than we love winning. So build a tiny trap that protects you from the late-night version of you that shops like it's free. Here's the part that changed everything for me. I stopped asking, how do I stop prioritizing wants? And started asking, which wants are worth prioritizing? I choose 3. Books, a weekly dinner with someone I love, and health gear I actually use. Everything else goes through the wait window or gets friction added. The result? I spend on joy, not noise. My savings grows because the leaks are plugged. And the weirdest benefit? I feel richer even before the numbers get big because I'm back in control. You started this wondering why you prioritize wants. Now you know. Your brain runs ancient software in a modern money casino. Present bias floods you with now. Dopamine rewards expectation, not ownership. Frictionless payments numb the pain of paying. Scarcity and status push your survival buttons. Mental accounting hides the total. Stress and decision fatigue lower your defenses. But you're not a victim. You have levers. Automate needs and future. Label your money with meaning. Add friction at the point of impulse. Institute the 48-hour and 1-week waits. Price things in hours of life. Pick 3 wants to honor and starve the rest. Replace leaking habits with capped rituals. Use loss aversion and accountability to protect your plan. Build visual progress so your brain gets hooked on growth. This is the psychology of spending, turned from trap into tool. The system doesn't change overnight, but the moment you change the rules of the game you play, the game changes for you. Wants stop ambushing you. Needs get covered without drama. Future you stops being a rumor and starts becoming real. And that feeling, quiet, steady control, is the one purchase that pays you back every single day.